Hello, it's BrickTsar. And it's time for BrickTsar Answer Thingy. I got a whole list of questions here. You have provided many questions. I printed out several of them. And there are a few I did not put on the list. I will try to get maybe those later or you ask them again. So if you don't hear your question answer, I'm sorry. And I think I deleted my Word file that I made. So anyway, enough of that. We're going to start at the top. And this is by Brick Builder. He asks, what type of train track will you use for your Lego city? If you use 9-volt track, will you show how to convert a new RC train to 9-volt? Or if you use RC track, will you show how to convert 9-volt to RC? Well, the good thing is I got plenty of both, the remote control or power functions track and 9-volt track. My preference is 9-volt, just for the ease of not replacing batteries or not charging batteries and things like that. But the RC track is good because you don't have to worry about polarity or if the track's clean or anything like that. So probably is going to be 9-volt track, but then again, some of my vintage trains don't run good on 9-volt track. They like the groove track. I actually thought of doing sections, like having a 60s to 70s section, an 80s section, and then a modern section. Really, I guess there are four main eras. I mean, there's more than that, but there's the blue track, the gray track, the 9-volt track, and the power functions remote control track. There's more varieties in there, but those are like the four main ones, and I thought about having them in different sections. But as far as showing a video of converting something, I may do that. I don't know. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I like using 9-volt though. Matthew O'Brien, what is the maximum you are willing to pay for a Lego set box? For instructions, if I were to start collecting vintage Lego, would bulk lots be a good place to start? If not, what would be? So that's a bunch of questions. So I'm thinking your first question, what is the maximum you are willing to pay for a Lego set box? I did not do any research to see what the most expensive boxes are going for. I do like to have boxes for my vintage stuff. I don't care as much with the modern stuff. And the main boxes I want are the wooden ones. And I have paid about $100 for a box before. Empty box, no pieces. But a regular box, probably $20 to $25 if it was something I wanted, like a Samsonite set, like the airport, or if it was a train box that was in good condition. Now for instructions, I'd pay more for instructions than I would for boxes in general, but I have paid up to $100 for a set of instructions. And I don't think I would go much higher than that. Somebody had the instructions for the dragon, the sculpture, and they were $75. They were not the original instructions. They were what he said were what Lego sent him from Shop at Home or whatever. Like he said he had missing instructions and they sent him. Personally, I don't believe him. And so I had actually bid on it or purchased it on BrickLink, because if you don't purchase it right then, somebody else will bid on them because it was $75. And then I asked him, I asked him before I actually bought it, but he didn't respond. But I wanted to go ahead and purchase it, and I said, what do you mean you bought this direct from Lego? Because they don't sell individual instructions. They've never sold individual instructions that I know of. And it was spiral bound, and they do have spiral bound instructions, but that one was not. So anyway, he canceled the transaction because I think he was selling a copy of the instructions. Anyway, Wonderful Bricks asks, I like the small box Lego logo and blue and red magnets. That's on the 125 little train set I had. He said, when did they start using the blue Lego boxes? I'm thinking that was in the 90s, because I remember the boxes were yellow all through the castle era. We had the yeah, I would say in the early 90s, because the Gas and Wash Express didn't have a blue box. Everything's blue today. Different themes now have different colored boxes, so yeah, like the Lone Ranger has yellow box. Chima has a blue box. City has a blue box. Ninjago has a green box. But everything was mostly yellow in the 80s, so maybe in the 90s. Lego stop motionists. What do you like more, Lego trains or planes? I don't even like the planes, so that's an easy one. I like trains better. I mean, there are some planes I like. I shouldn't say that. What is your favorite Lego space set? This is by D. Jones, 13570. My favorite space set, probably just strictly space, it'd be the Galaxy Explorer. That's set 497 or 928, depending on if you're in Europe or the United States. It's got a landing place, and it's a big spaceship, kind of like what Benny might build. Or, I mean, it's a space set, but it's a monorail, the 691 monorail transport base, the Futuron monorail. I like that one. All right, Our Silly Bricks. I like your name. Our Silly Bricks. How do you organize your instructions? Well, it's hard because all the instructions are different sizes. And so theoretically, I would want to store them in numerical order, like the ones for my personal collection and the ones in my store. The ones in my store are mostly in numerical order. Some that I have tons of one number, they're all in a box by themselves. But yeah, I want to store them in numerical order. But you have a big one, you have a little teeny tiny one. It makes it kind of hard. But what I do in both cases, for the most part, they are in comic book boxes, the magazine size comic book boxes, which are the little half size boxes. I don't have one nearby to grab, but maybe I'll show that one day. I just got I haven't done the haul yet. I don't know when I'm going to get around to doing it. I got a big lot of Lego that I got to go through. It has a ton of instructions. I already put some of them in comic book bags. Somebody asked a question on the last one, but like the little small extra pieces you get with my personal stuff, I take instructions, put them in a comic book bag, put the extra pieces in a baggie, and put in there with instructions. And that's when I was thinking, well, if I ever sell the set, I can know it's complete and everything. But comic book boxes is what I use. Brick Legacy. I have a simple mark that I like to build, only 4 parts, but large quantities of those parts, like 100 per brick. So he's looking for 100 bricks, 4 different types. And he says, is there any way on BrickLink to track down a single store or two that has all of these parts so I'm not placing 4 different orders? That is the universal problem that you run into with BrickLink. If you're trying to complete something and you need different parts, it could be just one piece of 4 different parts. And one seller only has one. So the first thing you do, you got to have all those in your wanted list. All right, and then if you look in your wanted list, you can scroll through it and see those parts. And sometimes you can notice sellers that are selling both of them. But I look for the ones, like you're needing a bunch, so you need quantity. So search by quantity. But when you do that, sometimes those ones that have the highest quantity are going to be higher priced, and you don't want to pay too much. But find one that has a reasonable price in the quantity that you need. Click on him and just show, when you go to his store, just look at the items in his store that are in your wanted list. It doesn't take that long. I do that, and that's why I end up buying a lot from Magic Magnus in Germany, because he always ends up having a lot of the parts I need in different varieties. But yeah, I do that. Just show, there's over there on the left-hand side above the store, in the store, when you're in somebody's store, just show items in your wanted list. So make sure they're in your wanted list. All right, Lego Buff Productions. What is the best way to buy straight road plates? The new ones? I wish I knew a way. Basically, you buy the pack and you got an extra intersection that you don't want. And there are people that sell them on BrickLink. They're usually almost the cost of the complete pack. So, $10 or more. And then by the time you pay shipping, you're paying just as much as you would for the pack. So the best way to get them is find a coupon or something. I don't know. The Brick Station. If Fabuland had been a theme, wait a minute. If Fabuland had never been a theme, what theme would be your favorite? Just hypothetically. I think you made the assumption that Fabuland was my favorite theme. It's not. If I said that, I'm mistaken. So if Fabuland had been a theme, had not been a theme, never existed, it wouldn't affect my favorite theme. That would be trains. CD Lego blog, and this is the one that I wanted to do a video on, just a standalone video. But I can't get, I'm in the middle of rearranging everything down here, getting ready to have my train layout back here. It's behind this shelf. And my favorite Lego element is in a box, and I actually spent a few minutes looking for it, but I don't know where I put it because I had to shuffle things around, so everything's gotten kind of piled up. It wasn't in great order anyway, but I had that out for the long. It used to sit right here behind me. There's a part, I don't know specifically. I mean, it's like my favorite element. We'll say the 2x4 red brick. Right? No, it's not really my favorite element, although I feature it or mention it a lot. There was a piece that I wanted that I finally got, and it's the steering mechanism. It's part X881. It is the electric car base 6x20x1 with motor cutout and cable steering 4.5 volt. That's from Lego Samsonite era time period. It is a remote control car. It's basically a base that has a turning mechanism that's connected by a cable, and you got a little steering wheel on a control pad. You turn it, it turns the cable, it turns the wheel, and the mechanism is electrified so that you hold the battery box in your hand with the steering wheel, and it turns the car. Set 311 and 312 is what that appeared in. 312 is just that, part X881. Set 311 is the car. I'll put a link in the description, or I'll put a link down about it. I may even put it in the comments to the video of the set that part is in. I got the box for 312, and I wanted to do a video of that because I have the only one that I have ever seen. I know other people have it because people have taken pictures for like the BrickLink inventory. But as far as somebody showing theirs, like on YouTube or a video of it or anything, I've never seen anybody else with it. It's part X881, and I waited a long time. It was one of the longest standing items in my wanted list on BrickLink, and I finally got it, but not on BrickLink. Now I forgot. I got it on eBay, and I got the box for it on shopgoodwill.com. I like that question. I was going to do a whole special video. It wouldn't have been but about a 3 or 4 minute video about it, but couldn't find it, so maybe another time. Thank you for that question, CD Lego blog. Check his channel out. I like that guy, CD Lego blog. That's a good channel. Should feature him one day. But nobody suggested him. Somebody needs to suggest him. Somebody's got a lot of suggestions for the next Featured Friday, and I'm probably going to go with that person since so many people suggested him. But somebody suggests CD Lego blog. Anyway, thank you for all those questions, and catch you next time. This is BrickTsar.